So are you a Chick-Fil-A fan? I am. It's so good. Some politicians, though, not so much. Lawmakers in Boston and Chicago fighting the fried chicken franchise in those cities after Chick-Fil-A president Dan Cathy said his privately owned company is against same-sex marriage. But others say companies have the right to believe and support what they want. Governor Mike Huckabee announced that he's launching a Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day. So should private businesses be penalized for their political beliefs, or should they just stay out of politics in the first place? Joining me now on the phone is Governor Mike Huckabee of Fox's Huckabee. Great to talk to you, Governor. Thanks for coming on.
Well, it's a pleasure, Melissa. Thanks. And I think that this issue is ridiculously out of control because some people were mad at Dan Cathy for expressing not an opinion of the company, but of his own personal views, which last time I checked, the First Amendment had not been repealed, even if you own a business.
I know. I mean, that's absolutely true. But the problem I have is you're running a business. So maybe it doesn't make sense to be out there expressing your political views because your company is going to pay for it financially. I mean, he has franchise owners who are out there running their restaurant, and now they're paying the price for his political statements that he has the right to his beliefs. I'm not sure he needs to go out and say it. What do you think about that?
Well, then we need to tell Apple computer executives and Starbucks executives and JCPenney executives and Ben & Jerry's to all do the same. In America, you don't lose your free speech rights to be a business. There is a risk that some people may say, I don't want to do business with you. Look, I still buy Starbucks coffee, and I'm an Apple computer nerd. And I know what the political opinion is of some of the owners of the company, but I buy their products, not their politics. I buy chicken sandwiches, not the politics of Chick-fil-A.
It's absolutely true that consumers have the right to hear this political discourse and decide one way or the other whether they want to shop at the store based on what the CEO is saying. But it does seem ridiculous that mayors and political officials would try and keep a company out of their city or out of their town based on this. I mean, if he had said that he was for same-sex marriage and they tried to ban him from a town, that would certainly, cause quite an uproar, right?
Well, not only that, but it's illegal and unconstitutional for an official to try to use one's power to stop commerce because you disagree with the personal views of the person who owns the business. Even the ACLU in Illinois today weighed in and declared that it was illegal and unconstitutional. When you've got Mike Huckabee, Billy Graham, the ACLU, and the editorial boards of both the Boston Globe and the LA Times all on the same page, that's a day to mark in history.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you have, because for Rahm Emanuel to say that he didn't appreciate it wasn't Chicago values, he might want to check and find out that same-sex marriage is illegal in his city. So the values of his city are being supported. It's just absurd on its face that you would have this kind of heavy-handed attitude. And I guarantee if the mayor of Dallas, Texas had said that nobody can buy an Apple computer in his community or a cup of Starbucks, you'd have some people screaming about it on the left.
Interesting. All right, Governor, thanks for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure, Melissa.